being really honest, there's days when I wake up with so much to do that I already have a checklist in my head. Wake up, done. 8 o'clock, go to my IEP meeting. 8:30, greet my kids at the door with a smile. 8:45, attendance, lunch count, RTI groups, and my day goes on that way. And as I finally am able to sit down to my 3:45 staff meeting, I'm not sitting there with a sense of accomplishment. Instead, I'm sitting there thinking, what did I miss today? There's something that I didn't do. And as I've gone back and I've reflected on those days, I realize that what I missed on those days were my students. They became a part of my checklist that day, and I did them a disservice. I'm not saying they didn't learn. I'm not saying they didn't have a good day. I'm just saying they deserved more from me, their teacher, on those days. They deserved someone who was present fully and not distracted, thinking 2 steps ahead. And I think, how did I let this happen? I was prepared, I had good intentions, I made a checklist. And what I realized that on those days, I let the logistics of my job overshadow the reason I do my job. And the who's and the what's and the when's and the where's and the why's of teaching, they don't change. But if we don't go and reflect and remember them, they become part of that checklist. The who is our students. We're there to serve them every day. The when and the where, we know those as well, every day, right? Then we get to the what. The what is our standards. We are there to teach our standards. They're what we are there for, not why we are there. Then we get to the how. That's the fun part. How we deliver those standards to every student, that's what makes us professionals. Then there's the why. And in my opinion, the why is the most important because it's the reason, it's the one that gives meaning to all the rest. But it's also the one that while it doesn't change, it's the one that we can pile things on top of and forget about first. And as my husband was driving us home from a trip recently, and I just grabbed some pencil and paper out of my car that's been there for years and was penciling my ideas down, and I just randomly stopped and read the pencil that I was writing with. And it said, and it happened to be from my alma mater, those many years ago, and it said, effective teachers for all learners. And it hit me. My professors knew their why. They knew why they came to work that day. They knew why they put up with students using their computers for things other than notes. They knew why they let cell phones go off. And they knew why they were answering my 17th question in the first 10 minutes of class. They knew why because it was plastered everywhere. They were reminded of it often in their pencils, their pens, their notepads, and I'm sure signature lines of emails. They knew they were there to create effective teachers for all learners. I think we can learn from my professors in this. I think that every teacher, professor, cafeteria worker, counselor, teacher's assistant, every adult in our school building needs that personal mission statement. Now you're hoping I'm going to give you this motivational mission statement that you can just take and run with. Spoiler alert, I'm not. I wouldn't be a good, effective teacher if I gave you the answer because it's going to be personal and different for every person. And it has to really be reflecting why we are in education. Why did I go into this field? And ultimately, why do I stay in this field? Once we've taken those moments to really answer that question, just like my professors, we need access to it often. We need to write it down. We need to remember it. Maybe we put it on a sticky note next to our computer. Maybe we put it on our lesson plans every week. Maybe we even write it on our mirror so we start our day seeing why we're going to work that day. It doesn't have to be cute. It doesn't have to be poetic. It doesn't even have to be long. It just needs to be genuine and really answer that question, why am I in education? So if we go back to my checklist, I asked the question, how did I let this happen? In all honesty, I woke up those mornings saying, as a meeting goer, who happened to teach along the way. I'd forgotten my mission statement of expecting and getting the best out of my students by expecting and giving the best of myself. As soon as I apply that into what I do, now I'm a teacher who happens to have many meetings today. You see, without my why, the who, the what, the when, the where, and the how just go into that empty checklist. As soon as we apply our reason why into every action, lesson plan, meeting, and checklist, that's when it turns into the rewarding, challenging process that we call teaching.